All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight discussion video. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. Marina Rodriguez versus Virna Jandiroba. As y'all know, I was picking Marina Rodriguez in this one. I was having that feeling that she was going to make the right improvements in this type of matchup against an improving Virna Jandiroba. But once again, doesn't go her way. This is her second loss in a row now for Marina Rodriguez. Pretty much got dominated on the ground. From rounds 1 and 2. Round 3, you could almost give to Virna as well. I know 2 judges gave the last round to Marina Rodriguez, but I could have seen it 30-27. And that's coming from a Marina fan, y'all. So, for real, you know. But where do I start in this post-fight discussion video? Well, I'm going to break it down from what I've seen with Marina and what I've seen with Virna Jandiroba in this fight. But let's start with what Virna did right and what she improved in, and then we'll kind of go into what Marina Rodriguez is still doing wrong. And I say that as a fan, you know, not as just somebody who likes to bash a fighter or, you know, who just likes to put a fighter down or troll a fighter. This is coming from somebody who's been studying Marina throughout her whole career and just been studying the fight game for a long time now, okay? This is somebody that likes to critique fighters and just sit back and say, okay, this is what they need to do, just going off of experience, all right? You know, it's the same way I've done with JoJo in the past. And, you know, I'm not wrong. I haven't been wrong about it. You know, there's been things I said JoJo needs to improve in as she moves up and as the game evolves. And you see that she wasn't able to do certain things along the way. So she suffered from it, right? And I think the same thing might happen to Marina Rodriguez here, right? Like early on in the strawweight division, Marina, she was making a statement. You know, she was getting some victories, but along the way, you could see little mistakes that were being made where you could say that, all right, if Marina doesn't improve on her takedown defense, or if she doesn't get better with her grappling, or even get a little bit stronger, she's going to have a problem as these other girls evolve. And once again, this is evidence. You know, this is just pure evidence. It's not bashing or just assuming a fighter can't do something. This is all based off of facts. Because, yeah, Marina's been down in just about every single fight. Now, she's been able to survive. She's been able to survive a lot of submission attempts, but when it comes down to fighters who have physical strength and they can wrestle, they'll beat her. They'll beat her. And Virna Jandiroba, she came prepared, well prepared in all of those departments. I mean, right off the top, like Virna's improvements to me was her stance and her feints. Like her entry. You know, her entry was on point. You know, she was bouncing around on the balls of her feet. You know, she wasn't blitzing in crazy like Mackenzie Dern. You know, she wasn't really like flat-footed or just like shooting in telegraph takedowns. You know, she looked like she wanted to strike with with Marina. You know, Virna wanted to strike with Marina. She was bouncing around, and then she kind of threw a jab. You know, she kind of like feinted with a little jab with her head off the line as well. And then, boom, you know, she got the takedown. And it was with just pure strength and good grappling technique. And even when she was able to get Marina down, she didn't just lay there for long. Like, she was just always looking for position, look for submissions here and there, but when it wouldn't come, she would lay ground and pound. So Virna Jandiroba, she's getting it now. You know, she's putting everything together. You saw a little bit of everything in there. You saw a little bit of striking, grappling, her jiu-jitsu on the ground, you know, her wrestling. She was doing a little bit of everything, looking for submissions, but like I said, didn't waste too much time. She was still getting position as well. All right, those were the improvements that I've seen in Virna Jandiroba. Now, Marina, we're still seeing the same thing. Again, this is going off of what I've seen throughout all of her fights. We're still seeing the same thing. No jab. Y'all hear me talk about this in every video about Marina. As much as I pick her in fights and I like her style, the one thing I'm always telling you that she's lacking is a good, long, stiff jab. The girl is 5'6", long arms, has power in her right hand, but she's not setting that power up with a good, long, stiff jab. You know, that's why she's easy to take down, because nobody's really in fear of being jabbed to death, or they see the right hand coming. Even the right hand, you know, it's kind of loopy at times. You know, she'll kind of loop it or roundhouse it. You know, or you know, like throw a right hook. She won't even lead with a straight right hand, you know. So fighters like Virna Jandiroba, they see that coming. They don't have to worry about getting knocked out at some point. Like, go back to the Ebos fight. Ebos kind of walked into it. You know what I mean? Like Ebos just gave up all of her defense and all of her range and just walked into the shot. Now, I give Marina full credit because it landed pinpoint accuracy. You know, she's landed on Dern and all those type of fighters. But when fighters like Virna know how to measure range and they're not just going to blitz in, they're going to be hard to hit. So Marina needs to start setting these power shots up with jabs. And she didn't do that in this fight. She was just kind of jabbing short at times and even throwing, like I said, this like half shot right hand. That's why she wasn't able to even like pile up any points at any point in the first or second round or get Virna's respect. So still not seeing the jab. No offense on the ground. You know, she just doesn't have the strength. As soon as she gets put on the back, her first thing to do is to go into defense mode and kind of throw strikes off of her back. But Virna's just controlling her wrist. You know, she's grabbing her hand, she's putting her shoulder in her neck. You know, she's tightening up on her, so she can't really get off any offense. Like, she's just ready to scramble. But once her legs are locked up, that just kind of nullifies her scramble game. You know, so you're still not seeing that. And again, you're not seeing the basic 1-2. So without a 1-2, Virna is not worried about anything. She's getting comfortable, you know, and a lot of wrestlers and well-rounded fighters are going to see that moving on in the future when they fight her. So you're still not seeing those three things. Another thing I didn't see in this fight is lateral movement. You know, she looked a bit flat-footed, you know, just kind of coming forward on Virna Jandiroba instead of, you know, stepping side to side. You know, got to go back and look at those tapes. When you been taken down in the past, how do we stop takedowns? You got to be Matador. You know, you got to step side to side. You know, her footwork wasn't tricky. Go to that Bilal Muhammad fight last night. It was beautiful footwork from Bilal that was just mixing up and frustrating Gilbert Burns throughout the fight. And that's what you got to do against a grappler. You know, you got to step in and out at these different angles and frustrate them and have them, you know, really, really tentative on what to throw next because they don't know where the lead kick is coming from or the lead punch is coming from. You know what I mean? Like Bilal, he did a good job of that. So I didn't really see any type of tricky footwork from Marina in this fight. So once again, you know, the more she stays into this same style, the fighters like Virna who are on the bottom but improving, you know, they'll come in and start dominating, because they'll know how to figure her out. They'll figure her out at this point, and they'll just, you know, start to walk all over, you know, and Virna won't be the first. I mean, if you go back and look at the first round, like I said, Virna, she had a nice bounce in her step, just making herself unpredictable. You know, you don't know if she's going to strike or wrestle. So she throws this jab with her head off the line, and then she steps in, takes Marina down. And Marina, like always, you know, she's good at defending submissions, but Virna says, okay, if I can't get the submission right away, I'll just control you. You know, so Marina, all she can do is just lock up that left leg of Virna to avoid the full mount or even the side control. So Virna, she just uses that upper body strength, and she's just drowning Marina this whole time. You know, Marina is trying her best to scramble, put her back to the cage, but she's just getting neutralized and pulled down. So Virna's dropping hard elbows on her, opens up a cut over the top of her head, and dominates her over 4 minutes. You know, over 4 minutes of the round. I don't think it was a 10-8 round now that I go back and look at it because Marina was still trying her best to fend some shots, fend some of those submissions off, and she was landing shots off of her back. So I would say it was probably a 10-9 round. It was a dominant 10-9 round, though. You know, she did get controlled for 4 minutes. And, you know, Virna didn't land like this whole barrage throughout the 4 minutes she had her down. You know, she was still just using a lot of strength and grappling just to keep her pinned down. Then going into the second round, again, like I said, Marina's not throwing this jab, just this loopy right hand, which is still her weakness. So Virna, she's not worried about counter. So Virna closes in again, outstrengths Marina, pulls her back down. Marina, again, she's defending these submission moments, but she's just getting out-wrestled and controlled again. You know, she just continues to get out-wrestled because she has no offense on the ground. You know, she's not elusive or like quick enough to get reversals. Like I said, you see in the Stamp Fairtex fight against Elise Anderson, when she pulled her down, Stamp was quick to react and get top position. You know what I mean? Like, she'll want to get back to her feet, but she will mix it up on the ground a little bit just to kind of frustrate grapplers. You know what I mean? So Marina really needs to add that to her game. Then going into the last round, at this point, Marina, she needed to finish. Still not enough straight shots. They're like throwing that right kick just to kind of stop Virna Jandiroba, you know, from entering on that right side of her. You know, she's still just kind of waiting. I mean, Marina, she was able to crack her a couple of times with right hands because she was looking for a knockout at this point. But Virna, she got a decent chin, you know. She got hit with a flying knee as well, but Virna just kind of smiled. And, you know, she took some of these shots. You know, she kind of got picked off with a few shots here when Marina would let him go, but still no jab. So once again, Virna takes her down. Marina, she's landing elbows off her back, but not doing a lot of damage. Virna was just all over her. I mean, at this point, Marina's legs, you know, they're kept together, so she can't really scramble again. So Marina, you know, she's doing this work off of her back, you know, this little bit of work off of her back while Virna's just kind of laying there. So I kind of see where the judges favor Marina in this round, you know, so you can kind of argue Marina won this round because she was landing more strikes, but Virna was still in top position and still in control somewhat. So, yeah, when it came down to it, I could have seen a 30-27, but, yeah, I'm not arguing 29-28 if you look at more of the effective strikes from Marina Rodriguez. All right, so, yeah, Virna, she got the unanimous decision. Like I said before, in the past, throughout Marina Rodriguez breakdown videos, the one thing I've always seen about her is just, you know, her straight strikes. Like, there's not enough of them, you know, to get respect. So eventually when she slows down in her, you know, in any of her fights, these grapplers, you know, they find that entry. That's why she's always been taken down. You know, that's the question that needs to be answered throughout, you know, her camps. You know, I'm just being real. It's like, you got to say, okay, why am I getting taken down in each fight? Probably because I'm not throwing this jab and I'm not stepping to the side enough. I'm not using lateral movement enough, and I'm not giving them something to respect. Okay? And that's just what it is. I mean, it's showing at this point. So for Marina, it's just those list of things I said she got to work on, because, yeah, as stuff like this happens, these more physical fighters on the come up, they'll be taking her down, and they'll be looking to finish her or just drown her. Or just drown her at this point. So from here, Virna Jandiroba might be taking that top 5 spot or number 6 spot, whatever, you know, the UFC is fit to give her at this point. So Virna, you know, she's going to be working her way in to work towards a title shot. Eventually, I knew that would come because she has been improving a little bit more as a fighter. Marina from here, that's 2 in a row that she's lost. I can pretty much say she'll probably fight down from here. She's pretty much fought everybody under her on down. I'd say up to number 12. She hasn't fought Angela Hill yet. So they'll probably have her fight somebody like Luana Pinheiro or, dare I say it, Tatiana Suarez, you know, because Tatiana is number 11 right now. But let's see next week where Marina falls, and we'll see what they want to do with Virna. So with 2 rough losses in a row for Marina Rodriguez, they'll probably give her somebody like Luana Pinheiro, you know, because she's fought everybody in the division. So Luana Pinheiro will probably be the name because that's one she hasn't fought. And it's an easier touch for Marina. I wouldn't want to see her go in there and fight Tatiana like that. So with Virna getting that top spot next, Tatiana versus Virna Jandiroba might be next now. So, hey, I'll take that. I definitely take that. After seeing, like, the improvements on the ground from Virna Jandiroba, like as far as her strength and even her right hand, like I always say, you know, how she sets it up, how she bounces around on her feet. I like to see her near Tatiana next. I know Tatiana, in my opinion, would win, but that's a good entry back into 115, and it's closer to, you know, where she wants to be, a title shot for Tatiana Suarez. So, yeah, that's a good fight. An improving Virna Jandiroba versus a returning Tatiana Suarez. Let's see that next. For Marina, a lot of improvements need to be made. Just being real, a lot of improvements need to be made if she wants to hang in this top 10. But, yeah, Luana Pinheiro is probably the best name for it, guys. Let me know what y'all think. And, yeah, just comment in the comment section what y'all think. What's going to be next for both of these fighters. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.